These axial LED fog lights are for those of you that have a 2010 to 2018 JK that are looking for an upgrade to those factory fog lights and something that's going to match your other LED lighting on your Jeep. This is going to be a very easy 1 out of 3 wrenches for the installation, and we'll show you how to do it in just a second. So the factory fog lights, much like the factory headlights, leave a lot to be desired. They're going to be a halogen bulb and a reflector housing, and they're just not all that bright. So stepping up to something like this is going to give you a lot more light in a very controlled way and a nice crisp, clean LED light that's going to be a different color temperature than those halogen lights. And that's important because, like I said, if you swap out your factory headlights for an LED and you still have those factory fog lights, these fog lights are going to look really, really yellow. So if you are using these in conjunction with an aftermarket LED headlight, the color temperature is going to match and everything is going to look and work really, really well. Of course, if you wanted to, you could also use these independently. Now, these are designed to work in a factory front bumper, but if you have an aftermarket bumper that accepts your factory fog lights, these will work there as well. These are specifically for the 2010 to 2018 JK because Jeep did change the connector for the fog light a little bit, so these are going to be completely plug and play for a 10 to 18, and while they'll fit in a 7 to 9 bumper, they're not going to plug in, so make sure you get the right lights for your year Jeep. Now, these are going to be a projector LED fog light, and what that means is that there is a glass projector inside the light that does all of the controlling of the light, and that allows you to have a very bright light source. Normally, if you have a reflector housing, you get too bright, the light's scattered everywhere, it's going in the eyes of oncoming traffic, and it's just not usable light. What the projector does, again, is control that light, puts it exactly where it needs to be, a fog beam, which is narrow and wide, and lets you have a very bright light. It's also very controlled and very usable. So that's what you're going to get here. You also have a polycarbonate lens, which is going to be really tough, which is what you want on the leading edge of the Jeep. If you get any sort of rock throws, stones coming up and hitting this, you're not going to have any problems with it coming apart and breaking on you. And what's very, very important, especially about LED lighting, is how water and dust proof it is. And this is going to have an IP68 rating, which means it's going to be very waterproof, very dust proof. Any moisture behind the lens can destroy the diode that's in there, causing the light to fail. Of course, you don't want any dust in there either. That will change the beam pattern of the light. So this is nice and sealed up, and it's going to continue to work for you for a good long time. Now, for this quality, you are going to pay a little bit more than some of the other choices out there, but less than some of the most premium lights on the market. So this is going to be a really nice balance of both quality and cost. These ones coming in at right around that $95 mark, which again, I think is pretty fair for what you're going to get. So like I said, easy install here, 1 out of 3 wrenches. Let me show you how to do it. For this install, we used an 18mm deep well socket as well as a number 2 Phillips tip socket. Also a small 3/8 extension. All of that was driven by a combination of our 3/8 pneumatic ratchet and our 3/8 electric impact. To get your new fog lights installed into your bumper, first you're going to have to remove the bumper from the Jeep. Now ours has been removed quite a few times, so it's missing a couple of pieces, but you're going to start by removing the frame cover up top, the splash guard on the bottom, and then the 8 nuts that hold the bumper in place. Of course, before you go and actually remove the bumper from the Jeep, you'll want to unplug your fog light so you don't pull that harness taut. So we have our socket here, we're going to remove the 8 nuts and get the bumper off the Jeep. With all 8 nuts removed and the fog lights unplugged, we'll grab the bumper and take it off the Jeep. With the bumper removed from the Jeep, you have easy access to the 4 screws that hold the factory fog lights in place. Now, the fog lights we have installed in our bumper currently are not factory fog lights, but they are held in the same way. So we have our Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to remove those 4 screws to get our old fog lights out so we can get the new ones installed. Now we're ready to bolt our new fog lights in place of our old ones. They're just going to pop right into the bumper, and we're going to use the factory hardware to bolt them down. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. With the new fog lights bolted in the bumper, we can get the bumper bolted back onto the Jeep. The last thing we have to do is plug in our new fog lights. So if you are looking for a high quality and cost effective set of projector LED fog lights for your JK, I would recommend this option from Axial, and you can find them right here at extremeterrain.com.